कंसेप्ट ऑफ जर्नलिज्म में हम टाइप्स ऑफ जर्नलिज्म से बहुत सवाल पूछे जाते हैं, लाइक बहुत सारे, राइट। टाइप्स ऑफ जर्नलिज्म, इट इज वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट, right? Types of journalism, it is very much important because many questions has been asked from this topic, and it is very much important topic and you should learn from it, right? ये आपको समझना होगा क्योंकि ये इस टॉपिक से बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस पूछे जा चुके हैं और तरह तरह के जर्नलिज्म है, राइट? सो विल नॉट गो इनटू द डीप, we will go through the overview of the types of journalism, right? So basically that in the context of the exam, right, what is important to know, it is here that first we will talk about the development journalism, right? Development journalism क्या होता है? तो development journalism is first we will try to know that from where this word came and who coined this term and what is the meaning of it and what is the purpose of the development journalism, what development journalists exactly do or examine. Okay, so this we will clear through this concept. Okay, so that please note it down, this is important. The first line, it is very much important. पहला line बहुत important है कि development journalism that was coined by the Alan Jalke. Okay, Alan Jalke ने ये coin किया है ये term, ठीक है? Alan Jalke, this question was asked in the UGC-NET exam that who coined the term development journalism. Okay, so answer would be the Alan Jalke coined the term development journalism, right? So basically development journalism that discourse aims to promote the media ethics, right? ये questions भी आपसे पूछा गया. Question number 2 here it is, and this is question number 1. Please focus it. That what I'm trying to say here. The question number 1, it is here that who coined the term development journalism? The answer will be Alan Jalke. This question has been asked in the UGC-NET exam. The second question here, it is important that development journalism discourse aims to what, right? That aims to promote what? So that is media ethics, right? To a standard of the media, to ethics of the media, that it basically aims or discourse here that to promote the media ethics, right? So that ethics of the media, जो भी media का जो ethics है उसको promote करना, that is what the development of the journalism, because only the मीडिया का जब एथिक्स पढ़ेंगे, बिकॉज दैट इज सोशल रेलिवेंस होता है, वहां पर सोसाइटी के लिए काम करना, ईमानदार होना, राइट, उनके पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट की बात करना, जनहित की बात करना, बेसिकली, राइट. सो दैट देन ओनली दैट वी कैन कंसिडर इट हियर दैट डेवलपमेंट जर्नलिज्म एम्स टू प्रमोट द मीडिया एथिक्स, राइट. सो दोनों का कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स मिलता जुलता है, इसलिए हम कह सकते हैं कि डेवलपमेंट जर्नलिज्म जो है बेसिकली देयर एम्स टू प्रमोट द मीडिया एथिक्स. ओके, so what Alan Jalke in the 1970s said about the development journalism and what he was believing about the development journalism, this is what to know about it, right? So Alan Jalke believes that the development journalism's job is to तीन फोल्ड में काम करता है जर्नलिस्ट, राइट. डेवलपमेंट जर्नलिस्ट जो होते हैं वो 3 फोल्ड में काम करता है. पहला, फर्स्ट, दैट इज टू इन्फॉर्म, सूचना देना. सेकेंड, दैट इज टू इंटरप्रेट, उसको लेकर इंटरप्रेट करना. एंड द थर्ड इज टू प्रमोट, राइट, उसको प्रमोट करना, राइट. तो इन्फॉर्म, इंटरप्रेट एंड द प्रमोट. द क्वेश्चन number 3 can be framed from here that Alan Jalke believes that the development journalist job is threefold, right? So choose, आपको दिया जाएगा कि which one of the following are true for the development journalism in which Alan Jalke believes. ठीक है, सो ये आपको याद रखना है, टू इन्फॉर्म, टू इंटरप्रेट एंड टू प्रमोट. सो वो आपको कंफ्यूज कर सकते हैं. यहां पर आपको हो सकता है दे दें कि टू एजुकेट, राइट. सो दिस विल नॉट बी. To interpret is the right answer. To inform, to interpret and to promote what Alan Jalke believes about the development journalism. So what it is here important, ये note down कर लीजिए, ठीक है. Next, in the other context, development journalism has been used in a manner सिमिलर टू द दैट ऑफ इन्वेस्टिगेटिव रिपोर्टिंग। ठीक है, तो ये किससे मिलता जुलता है, किस टाइप की रिपोर्टिंग से मिलता जुलता है, ये आपका इन्वेस्टिगेटिव रिपोर्टिंग से मिलता जुलता है, राइट। इट मैच विद द इन्वेस्टिगेटिव रिपोर्टिंग विच इज अ काइंड ऑफ द रिपोर्टिंग। सो व्हेन इट इज आस्क्ड टू यू डेवलपमेंट जर्नलिज्म हैज बीन यूज्ड इन अ मैनर सिमिलर टू विच काइंड ऑफ द रिपोर्टिंग, सो यू से इट इज similar to investigative reporting. Okay, so viewed in this manner, the role of the development journalism is examine critically the existing development programs and the projects of the government, right, and compare the plans project with the actual implementation. See what development journalists actually do, because there are lots of the schemes of the government, there are lots of the projects of the government, there are lots of the things are there in the society which to be work, like the road, electricity, water, right. That development related programs, schemes are there which to be implemented, which to be planned. So journalists generally cover all these things, right, when this scheme will be implemented, when this project will be completed, right. So they look after the government schemes, they look after the government project, they look after to implement the project or the schemes. So they report the observed shortcomings, right. So this is what about the development journalism. Is it all clear? Any questions regarding the development journalism? जल्दी से बताएंगे everybody. I'm asking again when we are crossing the topic. Okay, so you should say that yes, no, there is no doubt. चलिए, very good. It is all clear. Next it is here about yellow journalism. ठीक है, yellow journalism, this is also important from this type of journalism. The question has been asked, बहुत बार question पूछा गया yellow journalism से भी. So yellow journalism basically it is also called as sensationalism journalism, right. So sensationalism means that exaggerating the facts, exaggerating to attract the readers, right. So basically yellow journalism is to do for to attract the readers, to make the sensation of the news, right. So they highlight the news, they exaggerate the news, बढ़ा चढ़ा कर न्यूज को दिखाना, ठीक है, फ्रंट पेज की लीड स्टोरी बनाना, that definitely that there is no that the journalist had covered one side of the story, there is no well researched in that, and then also they are highlighting the things, they are repeating the things. So this is what we can consider as yellow journalism, that it is totally sensationalism and it exaggerates to attract the readers. It is not well researched, it only tells one side of the story. And nowadays it is very much popular when you see the televisions, जब आप न्यूज चैनल्स को खोलोगे तो इस तरीके से ही येलो जर्नलिज्म आपको दिखेगा. मेनी ऑफ द थिंग्स दैट इट इज रिपीटेटिंग एंड मेकिंग द सेंसेशनलिज्म, exaggerating the informations, right. So they are attracting toward to readers, ठीक है. So they use the music, they use the sound effects, they use the graphics, right. They use the VFX to attract the readers, to exaggerate the informations, right. So that is what the yellow journalism, right. And yellow journalism, the concept of the yellow journalism that have been that it is generally it is given to the Joseph Pulitzer. Okay, it derives from the circulation war. It derives from the word circulation war, right. So that we will understand that what is circulation war in the another classes. ठीक है, कुछ अगले क्लासेस में हम बात करेंगे कि what is जो है circulation war. And circulation war से ही yellow journalism आया है. Basically to understand in a line what is circulation war, because that there were two newspapers and they were fighting that who makes more right, who attract more towards the readers, right. Which newspaper generally attracts the more readers, right. So they were fighting with the newspaper owners, right. So yellow journalism word is connected with the Joseph Pulitzer. Yes, so because why the New York Journal, okay, and the New York, ठीक है, one more newspaper over there. So definitely there were two newspaper, and there in between that, which newspaper has more circulation, that was the circulation war. And from there, this yellow journalism came, right? So they were exaggerating the news. Yes, New York World, very good. New York World, very good. Yaini, New York World and the New York Journal. So there were two newspapers, and they were the war of the circulation, and the war of the circulations among these two newspaper, right? So that from there the yellow journalism came. So yellow journalism, basically you have understood the concept that it is basically exaggerations of the information to attract the readers, right? Next we'll understand the embedded journalism, right? What is embedded journalism here? So embedded journalism, that it refers to the news reporters being attached to the military units involved in the armed conflicts. So war की reporting, right? वो वहीं पे रहते हैं, military units में involve होते हैं, they, right, military units में involve होते हैं, they basically involved in the armed conflicts. So that we consider the embedded journalism. So embedded journalism, whenever it is asked to you, so relate with the that reporters being attached to the military units, or that they involved in the armed conflicts. Okay, so this is what the embedded journalism, right? So next, that is citizen journalism. Citizen journalism is what? Citizen journalism is that journalism which is conducted by the people who are not professional journalists, but who disseminate information using the website, blogs, or the social media, right? So basically that what we do, what we share the information through the using the social media, through using the website or the blogs, that they are not professional journalists, but they disseminate the informations, right? हम लोग आए दिन जो है खबरों को शेयर करते रहते हैं, पोस्ट करते रहते हैं, तो right, you make the video, right, you post some information through social media, you post some information through the blogs. So this is what the citizen journalism, right? So citizen journalism is the practice of the inviting readers or the viewers to participate in the creation of the news content, right? So they are not the professional journalists, but they participate in creation of the news content. They invite the readers, they invite the viewers. So basically citizen journalism has also played the main role and important role in making of the democracy, right? So this is what here important citizen journalism, that can be also considered as the participatory journalism, right? We all participate in that, right? The tabloid journalism. Okay, so tabloid journalism basically is what? So tabloid journalism is also a popular style of largely sensationalism journalism, right? It is also a part or the popular style of largely sensationalism journalism. It means we can say that it is also somewhere similar to the yellow journalism, and it is also frequently termed as yellow journalism. See here, it is written, it is frequently termed yellow journalism. tabloid journalism को yellow journalism भी अक्सर कहा जाता है. क्यों? क्योंकि इसमें sensationalism journalism का कुछ हिस्सा ये भी होता है, ठीक है? So which take its name from the format like small sized newspaper, half broadsheet. आपने broadsheet style of the newspaper, broadsheet format of the newspaper आपने देखा होगा, right? So there the broadsheet newspaper, which is very popular format in our country. And as the tabloid format is also there, which is small sized newspaper as compared to the broadsheet. It is the half of the broadsheet. So the size became associated with the sensationalism, and the tabloid journalism replaced the earlier level of the yellow journalism. So earlier it was very popular of the yellow journalism. Yes, still it is very popular, but it has taken the name of the tabloid journalism. So tabloid journalism replaced the label of yellow journalism, but objectives are same. They are working same purpose, because their style is also that covering the sensationalism information or the sensationalism journalism. Okay, so do not get confused with the yellow journalism and tabloid journalism. There is nothing difference. The name is only different. Okay, their work, their function is same as the yellow journalism. Okay, so labels for the name is different only. Okay, and the functions are same, and the format is different, that it is the small size newspaper, which is the half of the broadsheet newspaper. Okay, so Yellow journalism is also one of the important line here. It is written. It should be beside the yellow journalism. So here we will discuss one of the important line which we have mentioned just now. So yellow journalism is overshadowed by a new term green journalism. आजकल yellow journalism को एक उसको कवर कर रहे हैं एक नया टर्म से, दैट इज ग्रीन जर्नलिज्म. ग्रीन जर्नलिज्म से उसको कवर कर रहे हैं. मीन्स दे दैट इज ट्रू, राइट, कि येलो जर्नलिज्म में इतना नाम जो है नीचे हो गया कि दैट इज येलो जर्नलिज्म, दैट निगेटिव टर्म, निगेटिव वाइब आती है, राइट. सो बेसिकली दे दैट ग्रीन जर्नलिज्म is trying to overshadow the yellow journalism. Okay, so next it is here about the jazz journalism. What is jazz journalism here? So jazz journalism is basically that it also followed the yellow journalism, and it followed yellow journalism since 1919 to 1994. Okay, and it covered the subjects related to the Hollywood, sex, violence, and the money, right? So these all are the categories which covers the informations or the news from this subjects. Okay, so basically Hollywood, sex, violence, money related informations or the news or subjects are covered in the newspaper. So that is what about called jazz journalism. Okay, it is all clear about the tabloid and jazz journalism. Everybody jaldi se batayenge it is clear. So little bit informations and overview of the types of journalism we are discussing it here. Okay, very good. Chaliye, so Ritika, Ratan and Nomi call only understood, and rest of them जल्दी से. रविंद्र, yes, very good, बहुत ही सुंदर. चलिए, what about रचना, अर्चना, मनीषा, is it clear to you? Yes, रेखा is also clear. चलिए, बहुत ही सुंदर. तो ऐसे ही if there is some doubt, definitely ask, raise your hand and ask the doubt, right? So do not get confused with the another. Green journalism is what? So basically green journalism is, now you can consider it as a clean journalism. There is no any sensationalism there, right? Yes, Manisha and Simran. ग्रीन जर्नलिज्म कहने का मतलब है कि उनका कहना है कि येलो जर्नलिज्म अब नहीं है वैसा. अब येलो जर्नलिज्म को ग्रीन जर्नलिज्म से कवर करे. इट मींस साफ सुथरा जर्नलिज्म, राइट. द ग्रीन मतलब हरा भरा जर्नलिज्म, नथिंग लाइक कि उसमें सेंसेशनलिज्म होता है या फिर किसी तरीके का इंफॉर्मेशन होता है, राइट. सो दैट इज व्हाट हियर दे आर कवरिंग, दे आर हाइडिंग द थिंग्स बाय द न्यू टर्म ग्रीन जर्नलिज्म. ओके, प्रिसीजन जर्नलिज्म और द प्रिसाइजन जर्नलिज्म, राइट. सो व्हाट इट इज, the use of the scientific research methods in the journalism. Use of scientific research methods in the journalism is now known as precision journalism. It is very easy. Definitions of the precision journalism is here that you can remember easily. If in the journalism there is the use of scientific research methods, or there is the use of research methodology or the research tools for the news reporting, you consider the kind of that journalism is called precision journalism, right? So precision journalism is related with the research methodology, research tools, right? The scientific research methods, if it is being used in the journalism, that called precision journalism, right? Hope it is clear to you. So this question was asked in the UGC-NET exam, basically that it is known as what? So this is known as precision journalism. Please note it down. Very important line here it is. Okay. So precision journalism is the use of the social and the behavioral science research method to gather and analyze the data. So what that the reporters have the information, reporters have the data. Basically, we use the research tools there to analyze the data, to analyze the informations, that whatever the reporters gathered the informations by using the tools and techniques of the research, we analyze the data, we use the scientific research methods to report the things, right? So that is called precision journalism, right? Next, it is here mindful journalism, right? Mindful journalism से भी questions आपका पूछा गया है, right? So what is here the mindful journalism basically? So mindful journalism is here that concept of mindful journalism has drawn inspirations from the Buddhism. Buddhism से ये concept आया है. कहाँ से आया concept? Buddhism से. So it is clear, very simple, clear. Mindful मतलब that is what here that it is as an strategy, right? So यहाँ पे हम mindful journalism होता क्या है उसको समझेंगे. इससे पहले समझने के लिए हम ये जानते हैं कि इसकी इंस्पिरेशंस कहाँ से ली गई. इसको बुद्धिज्म से लिया गया, ठीक है. the meditation, the concentration, right? So this is what about the Buddhism and the mindful that it works in the journalism. So how it is used and what it suggests is here we will discuss. So it suggested that the Buddhism mindfulness strategy can be applied purposively in journalism to add what? Clarity, fairness, and equity to new decision making, right? So whenever you are taking decisions, that it helps to take the decisions in the journalism, that it applied purposely in the journalism and for the clarity, right? Clarity in the reporting, right? Fairness in the reporting, equity in the reporting. So this is what it makes the new decision making, and to offer also a moral compass to the journalistic facing ethical dilemmas in the work, right? So that this information would be selected or not, this information can be reported or not, this ethical dilemmas that mindful journalism it suggests about the clarity, fairness and the equity, right? So ये हमें ये बताता है कि क्या ये इंफॉर्मेशन जो हम इथिकल डायलेमा कभी कभी बन जाता है हमारे सामने, सो उसमें ये मदद करता है आपका माइंडफुल जर्नलिज्म. सो माइंडफुल जर्नलिज्म एक तरह की स्ट्रैटेजी है दैट इसको हम पर्पसिवली अप्लाइड करते हैं किस चीज के लिए? क्लैरिटी के लिए, फेयरनेस के लिए और इक्विटी के लिए. कुछ नया डिसीजन आपको लेना होता है और आपके पास इथिकल डायलेमा हो जाता है, मतलब कि आप सोच नहीं पाते कि इंफॉर्मेशन को रिपोर्ट करना चाहिए, नहीं करना चाहिए, इसको वर्क में लेना चाहिए, नहीं लेना चाहिए, दैट शुड बी फॉर द फ्रंट न्यूज स्टोरी और नॉट, ठीक है, फ्रंट पेज स्टोरी और नॉट. सो दैट इट हेल्प्स, ठीक है. सो इट कम्स एट अ टाइम व्हेन एथिकल वैल्यूज इन द न्यूज मीडिया आर इन द क्राइसिस फ्रॉम अ रेंज ऑफ द टेक्नोलॉजिकल, कमर्शियल एंड द सोशल फैक्टर्स, राइट? कब ये चीजें आपको हेल्प करती है? when the things are in the crisis in the range from the range of technological, commercial and the social factors, right? So and when both Buddhism and mindfulness have gained the considerable acceptance in the वेस्टर्न सोसाइटी. सो बेसिकली इस चीज का बहुत ही ज्यादा वैल्यू है कहाँ? वेस्टर्न सोसाइटीज में, एंड दे एक्सेप्ट दिस थिंग्स, राइट? सो बेसिकली इट इज वेरी मच पॉपुलर इन द countries where the Western societies are there, right? So this is what about the mindful journalism. So one of the important thing it is here that what is the concept from where, what is the root of this journalism? So it has been taken, it has been inspired from the Buddhism. Okay, so ये सारी समझ लीजिए कितने टाइप्स है. Just think about that, the types of journalisms are many that you have to be focused. ठीक है, चलिए नेक्स्ट इट इज हियर द पैक जर्नलिज्म. आपने नाम भी नहीं सुना होगा, बहुत लोगों ने नाम नहीं सुना होगा, बट इट हैज बीन आस्क्ड इन द यूजीसी नेट एग्जाम. ये यूजीसी नेट एग्जाम में पूछा गया है, और जब हम क्वेश्चंस करेंगे, व्हेन वी विल अटेम्प्ट द क्वेश्चंस, राइट? सो उस समय मैं आपको बताऊंगा कि पैक जर्नलिज्म, पर्सनालिटी जर्नलिज्म, टैबलॉइड जर्नलिज्म, प्रिसीजन जर्नलिज्म, ये सारे जर्नलिज्म किस किस ईयर में क्वेश्चंस, कौन कौन से क्वेश्चंस पूछे गए हैं, दैट वी विल टेल यू, राइट? एंड यू विल बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट ओके दिस शुड बी मोर फोकस एंड दिस शुड बी मेमोराइज्ड, राइट? चलिए, सो पैक्ड जर्नलिज्म जो है, पैक्ड जर्नलिज्म इज व्हाट? दिस टर्म वाज फर्स्ट कॉइन्ड बाय द अमेरिकन जर्नलिस्ट एंड राइटर टिमोथी क्रूज़, राइट? इसको क्रूज भी बोलते हैं, ओके, टिमोथी क्रूज. सो टिमोथी क्रूज हैज कॉइन्ड द टर्म, was the American journalist who coined the term pack journalism, and this term has been taken, it was actually described in the book, in their book The Boys on the Bus, ठीक है, The Boys on the Bus, which was published in the 1973, and this book was about the activities of the journalists during the 1972 United States presidential elections. So United States presidential election जो 1972 के दौरान 1972 में जो हुआ था, उस जर्नलिस्ट की एक्टिविटीज को यहाँ पे ये बॉयज ऑन द बस दर्शाता है. और बॉयज ऑन द बस बुक के अंदर ही जो राइटर है अमेरिकन जर्नलिस्ट टिमोथी क्रूज़, इन्होंने ये टर्म दिया है, राइट? So it is very much popular book, right? So definitely this book is also important. This can be also important questions, right? So they can ask you in the match of the following questions also, that the boys on the the boys on the bus written by. So what it will be answer? Timothy Cruz, right? So they can also ask you the question, right? Question number 2, that Timothy Cruz was American journalist, Spanish journalist, British journalist. So this answer is British journalist. Question number 3. Question number 3 can be that the term was first coined by, okay, first coined by the Timothy Cruz, which was published in the book, right? So that is what here it is important, the boys on the bus. The book name bhi aapka important hai. Number 1, writer name, it is important. That what it called the journalism, it is important. ठीक है? So अलग अलग तरीके से क्वेश्चंस पूछा जा सकता है from the different way that they can ask you the questions. Okay, so this is what here important. So pack journalism, that what is about the pack journalism basically, because we have discussed here that from where this term came and who coined this term, but what it actually it is, the pack journalism that refers to the standardized news coverage that can occur when reporters from the multiple news organizations cover the same events. So basically you can take the example here, you will understand better that when the pack journalism can occur when a news organization decide to make a particular story the leader story only because other news organizations are doing the same. So what happened in this pack journalism basically, so if for an example, understand this very good example, it is here given. So when many of the news organizations cover the story, the other news organization also do the same because they are covering the same news, right? For an example here, better understand. Suppose Aaj Tak, NDTV, India TV, News Nations, they are covering the same news, right? They are covering the events, same events. And then what happened? The other news channel will also cover the same event because they are doing so. I will also cover that, right? So that organization will also cover. So this is what about the pack journalism basically. So this was refers to the news coverage, okay? When that can occur when reporters from the multiple news organizations, so different reporters of the multiple news organizations cover the same events. Okay, and that what they do, their logic is that when news organization decide to make a particular story the lead story, because only that other news organization are doing so. So दूसरा organization काम कर रही है same news events cover कर रही, तो हमारी news organization भी वही events cover करेगी. ठीक है? So this was happened. ठीक है? ये 1972 यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स प्रेसिडेंशियल इलेक्शन में यही हुआ था कि एक न्यूज चैनल, 4 न्यूज चैनल अगर सेम स्टोरी को कवर कर रहा है तो 5वीं न्यूज चैनल जो है वो भी सेम स्टोरी को ही कवर करेगा क्योंकि 4 कवर कर रही थी उस सेम स्टोरी को. दे वर मेकिंग द लीड स्टोरी, सो आई विल आल्सो मेक द लीड स्टोरी, राइट? सो दिस इज व्हाट अबाउट द पैक जर्नलिज्म. ओके, इट इज क्लियर? जल्दी से बताएंगे, इट इज क्लियर? If 4 channels are covering the same events, the 5th one will also cover the same events. Okay, so this is what about the pack journalism. So next it is about the personality journalism. Okay, so what is personality journalism? So personality journalism is also called as an celebrity journalism. Okay, इसको हम किस नाम से बुलाते हैं? इसको हम celebrity journalism से भी बोलते हैं. ठीक है? So celebrity journalism is that focused on the celebrities and their lifestyle and feeds of the television soap operas, reality televisions and the members of the royal families and the like, right? वो लोग क्या पसंद करते हैं, क्या ड्रेस पहनते हैं, क्या शूज पहनते हैं, क्या ब्रांड, सारी चीजें तो फिल्मी serial soap operas that they cover their lifestyles, they focus on their celebrities and their personality. So basically that is what the personality journalism, which is also known as celebrity journalism. Okay, hope this is all clear to you, right? So next it is there the convergence journalism, right? So convergence that we had discussed in the first class, that what is convergence when different things at one. So that is what called convergence journalism. So which a smartphone is an best example of the convergence, right? So that we had discussed. So basically that what is here, it is bringing multiple forms of the media to tell a more effective story, right? So like for an example, a smartphone you can take here, that rather than just reading an article in the newspaper, news consumers read the article online, scroll through a slideshow. So that what I and you and we all, that what we do, we cover the, we read the news in the mobile phone, where the video link is also available, audio link is also available, images are also there, right? Different formats are, multiple forms of the medias are available, which will tell the effective story, which will tell the story. So this is not the monotonous like that you have to read the article in a newspaper, right? So you can also watch the video on the same article, you can also listen the audio on the same news stories. So there different formats are available nowadays, and that is available in a single device, that is called the convergence journalism, that the same story is in the different formats. Okay, next it is here the mobile journalism. Okay, so mobile journalism is basically, it is also called mojo journalism, and this time this question was asked, right? Recently ये questions पूछा गया था, ठीक है, 2021, this इसी साल जो जो मर्ज साइकिल का जो एग्जाम हुआ था, उसी में एक क्वेश्चन पूछा गया था, दैट मोजो द मोबाइल जर्नलिज्म किट डज हु हैव गिवन द एग्जाम, जिसने एग्जाम दिया था उनको ये पता होगा कि मोबाइल जर्नलिज्म से वाला क्वेश्चंस था, राइट? इट वाज द क्वेश्चंस, राइट? And that we have included in this PowerPoint slides, right? So that you should not miss any of the things. Okay, so mobile journalism kit does कंसिस्ट पावर बैंक, हार्ड ड्राइव एंड द माइक्रोफोन, ठीक है? सो सोचिए हमारा जो ये आपका स्टडी मटेरियल है और जो पावर पॉइंट है, विच इज वेरी मच अपडेटेड है, ये बहुत ही अपडेटेड है, लेटेस्ट है, सो दैट इट हैज बीन added, right? दो आपको जो भी क्वेश्चंस पूछा गया है which has been added in the types of journalism. So mobile journalism related questions was asked in this year recent exam, ठीक है? So this question was, क्या क्वेश्चन क्या था आपका कि मोजो जर्नलिज्म किट डज नॉट कंसिस्ट व्हाट, डज नॉट था, right? It does not consist what? The options were the first, the power bank, second, the hard drive, and third, microphone, and the fourth was KineMaster. Okay, so KineMaster does not have the kit, right? It doesn't consist the kit, right? ये kit नहीं है. KineMaster is the video editing software for the Android as well as for the Windows. So basically we do not cover in the mobile journalism or the mojo journalism. So mojo journalism basically cover the power bank, that is the through the mobile phone, that is power bank, it is to charge your phone, hard drive to storage for the storage, and the microphone to speak, right? So basically these three things are very much important elements for the mobile journalism. Okay, it is all clear? जल्दी से बताएंगे, clear है सभी को, each and every types that we had discussed till now? Yes, great, very great. Next it is about the curtain raiser. Curtain raiser क्या होता है? Basically curtain raiser is a part of interpretative journalism, right? So what is interpretative journalism, that we will discuss later on, right? So interpretative journalism and investigative journalism, advocacy journalism, these are the basic types of journalism. You can do also the self study on that, but we will discuss through the MCQ, right? So when MCQ, this term will be repeat more and more, right? So basically at frequent times this terms has been come in the options, so don't worry, we will discuss, but understand about the new term, that is curtain raiser, right? So what is curtain raiser here, that we have mentioned here to understand the in a very easy way, right? So curtain raiser is a story on what is likely to happen, not a report on what has happened. It is very much easier sentences that you can understand the curtain raiser. So curtain raiser is basically a story, right? It is basically a story on what is likely to happen, not a report on what has happened. क्या हो गया है उस चीज का रिपोर्ट नहीं होता है, क्या होने वाला है उसकी स्टोरी होता है. Like for an example, there is an elections, right, in some states, and there are different stages, right? अलग अलग चरणों में वहां पे चुनाव होना है. So what they do, they report on that, right? That see here the example, like they will make the statement, they will make the story over the elections is going to be happen in this state and in the 4 stages or in the 5 stages, right? So the election of the 5 states assembly were held in the July, right? So this is what the इस तरीके से आपका जो likely to be happen, that is what it covers the story. Okay, so it raises the curtain to show what is on the stage and how the drama will unfold itself. ठीक है, अपने आपने देखा होगा कर्टेन किस तरीके से स्टेज के ऊपर जो है कवर हो जाता है ऑटोमेटिक, इट ऑटोमेटिकली कवर द स्टेज, राइट, and it automatically remove the curtain, right? So what is on the stage That is what it provides, right? So in the interpretative reporting, the reporter would give the readers to breakup of the results and would provide the facts to the composition of the house have been made. So this is what here the curtain raiser basically understand. It is in the form of a story. That is, it is a part of the interpretative journalism. Interpretative journalism is a kind of the journalism where you interpret the story, right? Where you interpret the story which is likely to happen, that where it will be happen, and then who will join this event, right? How many, like the recently that there were inaugural ceremony of the in the Ujjain, where the Modi has inaugurated the things events. So this was what the many 10 days before it, the curtain raiser story was prepared, right? It was coming in the newspaper, it was coming in the televisions and everywhere, that this Modi is going to inaugurate the events, very large events in the Ujjain, right? So this is what about the curtain raiser, which is likely to be happen, not a report on what has happened. Okay, it is all clear? जल्दी से बताएंगे clear है? चलिए next here it is important, photojournalism, right? So photojournalism has its roots in the war photography. Photojournalism का क्या हाँ root है? War photography में root है, right? So this question was asked in the UGC-NET exam, right? The photojournalism has its root in dash war photography, sports photography, fashion photography. So you might get confused if you don't know. So please remember it, that it has its root in the war photography, right? With Roger Fenton pioneering the field of during the Crimean War, that was around 1853 to 1856 Crimean War. During the Crimean War, Roger Fenton was very much popular and they pioneered this field, the photojournalism. So Fenton was the first official war photographer shooting images that demonstrated the effects of war. War का कितना effect होता है, क्या प्रभाव होता है उस image का, बहुत ही ज़्यादा उस time पे value हुआ, right? The power of the image, the power of the photos that they had described, they had understood and demonstrated the effects of war through the photographs that Roger Fenton has illustrated. And that war was the Crimean War, which happened during the 1853 to 56. And it, please remember this very important line, that photojournalism has its root in the war photography. Okay, not the sports or the fashion photography. It has roots in the war photography, and the popular name is Roger Fenton. Okay. Next here it is that one of the important line here it is I have taken for the investigative journalism. So investigative journalism, you know that when you, where you go into the depth of the story, right? Many of the story has been covered, right? Has been covered, which has to be covered in terms of the, we talk about the social relevance, then it has to be covered, because many of the bad things were happening in the society, and they investigate through the investigative journalism, we uncover that evil things. Okay, so the right to information has been the become credible source of the news for the mass media for the investigative journalism. Yes, it is true statement, right? For the assertion revision questions, this assertion was the, this was the assertion which was asked in the UGC-NET exam. ये एक assertion था, ठीक है, जो 2012 में UGC-NET exam में पूछा गया था, right? 2012 June paper 2, this question was asked in the pattern of the assertion region, and you have to tell that this statement is true or false, and that it statement is true and it is relevant to the types of journalism. That's why we have mentioned here the in terms of the investigative journalism. And you know the investigative journalism, so you have to know that this becomes very important source, what? Right to information, that is RTI, that it has been become the credible source of the news for the mass media, all the mass media, whether you talk for the radio, whether you talk for the television, whether you talk for the newspaper, for the all the sources of the news of the mass media, the right to information has become the credible source for the investigative journalism. ठीक है, and you have to be true, right? ये आपका true statement है, बहुत ही true statement है, क्योंकि आजकल आरटीआई लगाकर लोगों से इंफॉर्मेशन निकालवाना बहुत आसान है, और ये एक तरीके का क्रेडिबल सोर्स भी बन गया है सारे मीडिया के लिए. ठीक है, चलिए. And the next it is here we are discussing the checkbook journalism, and here it is I think it is the last type of journalism. Checkbook journalism is traditionally called the practice of paying a large amount of money to acquire the exclusive right to publish the person's story, right? So when you have the rights, exclusive rights to publish a person's story, and for that you take the money, that the practice of paying a large amount of money to acquire the exclusive rights. So that is what called checkbook journalism. For that you get the money, right? So the large amount of money is paid to you for that to publish a person's story, that you have the exclusive right to publish that person's story, and for that you got the large amount of money. So that is what the checkbook journalism. Okay, उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? Checkbook journalism बोलते हैं. So it is when reporters on the news organization pay sources of the informations, right? So this was the match of the following question. ये दो match of the following questions थे, बहुत important questions है. I have mentioned here that checkbook journalism and the paid news. Do not get confused between them, right? Checkbook journalism is that of journalism, that kind of journalism that is money to source, ठीक है? Money to source को दिया जाता है, and that is money to journalist, right? So money to journalist is called paid news and money to source is called checkbook journalism. So that you can understand simply well that paid news can be the part of the checkbook journalism basically. So when the money goes to journalist, basically that becomes the paid news, and when money goes to sources, that becomes the checkbook journalism. So basically these are the differences basically. So that we have covered the types of journalism. There are lots of journalism that we had covered. Okay, so is there any confusion in any of the types? Please let me know. Okay, जल्दी से बताएंगे कहीं पे कोई confusion है? I have tried my level best to make you understand easy. So that is what the types of journalism we had taken, and all the types of journalism which we have discussed here that has been asked in the UGC-NET exam.